Alright guys, so I just finished watching the new Netflix Devil May Cry. And this may sound a bit controversial, but in all honesty, I was very disappointed. It really felt like there were two different visions for the shows, jammed into one season. And I'm very sure the show would have been better if it wasn't for a certain 78-year-old very lost individual who has a boner for inserting himself and his personal beliefs into IPs that are not his, because they got a lot right. For example, the action, the music, the animation itself, Dante's personality, Limp Bizkit's rolling being in the opening credits, OG Devil May Cry soundtrack being used in the closing. These were all great choices by someone who clearly cares about DMC and wanted to do something the fans would like. The problem with the show were two things that I'm very sure were the work of the narcissistic executive producer known as Adi Shankar, which was Mary Arkham, and the fucking goober known as White Rabbit. You see, Lady is a devil hunter who first appeared in Devil May Cry while hunting Arkham, who turns out to be her father. Now in this show, they replaced Lady with the character Mary Arkham. I say this because Lady would never use the name Arkham because she absolutely hates her father and everything he stands for. So she rejects the name and takes up Lady. Her name isn't Lady because Dante forgot her name. Honestly, it's like they don't even understand the character. That's why I say this character isn't Lady. This is Mary. Another problem they had is that it felt like Dante was a passenger in his own show. It felt like the show was more about Mary and that fucking goober White Rabbit. I'm definitely sure they had more screen time than Dante did, and White Rabbit turned out to be the goober of the year. First of all, for all the casual fans of the show who aren't aware, in the Devil May Cry universe, there are no such things as good demon refugees. It doesn't exist, and if there are good demons at all, it must be far and wide. That's what makes Sparda's betrayal so special in DMC lore. Demons don't do like that. But anyway, this is Netflix Devil May Cry. So what do I know? So White Rabbit, you're saying that these demon refugees are suffering under the rule of Mondos, and your bright idea is to join dimensions so that Mondos can have more freedom to conquer. White Rabbit, you must really be a something. That is one of the worst plans I've ever heard. I felt no empathy or understanding towards this villain. He'd have been cooler if he were just an emissary of Mondos. That would have made more sense. But who am I kidding? I'm expecting sense from Adi Shankar. The reason I hate White Rabbit and his idiotic plans so much is because of this tweet right here. Man, fuck this dude. Anyways, I give the show a 5/10 strictly because of the guy that was in charge of all the music, animation, and stuff that was cool about the show. Stuff that we like about the show. You understand? Just for that dude's sake, I want to see a season 2. Not Adi Shankar.
Don't forget to subscribe!